because now it kind of puts the number one contendership situation in jeopardy, because 1 week Randy Orton is renouncing his number one contendership, saying he doesn't want to face Bray Wyatt. So they go through the whole motions of doing a number one contenders battle royal, and then they did the whole match with AJ Styles and Luke Harper, which AJ Styles won. And then at the end of Monday Night Raw, Randy Orton turns on Bray Wyatt and burns the remains of Sister Abigail, and saying that he's coming after Bray Wyatt. Is this just weird creative writing by WWE? I mean, where did they go with this?
Yeah, it was, I don't know, SmackDown did have some kind of deficiencies as far as just like, what are they doing? Like, they could have done a much bigger payoff, in my opinion, with the whole Randy Orton thing. Just out of nowhere, he's just like, oh, okay, well, I've been going to screw you over this whole time. You know, I mean, they could have done that at least at like Elimination Chamber, maybe, if they were going to do that, you know. I mean, at least kind of give the crowd a payoff somewhat.
Yep, definitely. It's just a really weird thing.
But with AJ Styles winning the number one contendership, I mean, does that mean that with Randy Orton wanting the title, is AJ Styles still entitled to be the number one contender, or is Shane McMahon possibly going to take that away from him, leading to a feud between the two of them?
I really don't know. What it does, it has the makings of a triple threat angle from the outside looking in.
And I hope that's the route they go. But I almost saw them planting the seeds the other night for Shane McMahon and AJ Styles, which is a rumored match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I wonder if this is their thinking, that maybe Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt itself isn't enough of star power for a main event for WrestleMania. So maybe with the inclusion of AJ Styles, who is also a big name right now in the WWE.
He deserves the main event. He's their top star right now, and even in John Cena's opinion. You know, I mean, obviously he might not sell the most merchandise or whatever, but, you know, I think John Cena said it best the other day, or I can't remember who necessarily said it the other day. I think it was JBL maybe even, that AJ Styles just doesn't have a bad day at the office.
No, he never does.
You know, and
he never does.
He's always there. He's always dependable. He doesn't get hurt, and he does fantastic moves, keeps the crowd entertained. You know, and you know, I think John Cena even he had an interesting promo with The Miz to start off SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, to say the least. By the way, what's up to Turnbuckle Corner Wrestling Podcast in the YouTube chat, as well as Tone. Tone, how have I not modded you in my YouTube chat yet? That's beyond me. So let me go ahead and just do that right now for you, Tone. And Turnbuckle Corner Wrestling Podcast says, I want to see Kevin Owens versus Jericho at WrestleMania for the Universal title. Well, I'm going to give my thoughts about the Universal title when we come to talk about it, because there is quite a lot to say, you know. Because
I figure we can start SmackDown just because we're going to be getting into Raw and talking Fastlane, because
we can talk Raw and
tonight.
Fastlane at the same time, because a lot of the stuff that happened on Raw is directly connected to Fastlane.
Right.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. If you guys want to call in and give in your predictions for Fastlane, you see the number at the bottom of your screen is 337-366-8951. That's area code 337-366-8951.
Let me get that.
Yeah, if you can, please. They got the extension right there. And you can also go to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and get in the YouTube chat. You can also go to twitch.tv/WrestleGamer in the Twitch TV chat as well to get in your comments and your predictions for what's going to be happening at Fastlane. So, first off, welcome to El Kabong and the Twitch chat. Hope you enjoy the show this week. Let's talk a little bit about SmackDown. Now, with SmackDown, I got to say, John Cena, ever since he's returned, has stepped up his promo game even more. He's become more entertaining, more interactive. There are less hate, because John Cena used to be probably one of the most hated guys in WWE for some odd reason. Thank you, IWC. But now a lot of that hate has been towards Roman Reigns. And,
Surely.
And not only that, but John Cena, to me, has kind of stepped up his game. He's made his promos more entertaining. It's not just the same usual stuff we've seen out of John Cena in the past. But with the whole angle with them working with Miz, Maurice, Nikki Bella, and Cena, the only objection I have to it is Maurice. Because out of the four, Maurice is the less talented person in the whole angle.
Well, I think initially the plan was to go Miz and Maurice against Dean Ambrose and Renee Young.
That would have been worse.
Exactly. So, and I think Cena, and I think this could be like possibly just a pre-WrestleMania feud, because I think Cena had a lot of interesting things to say in his promo, and he made a lot of allusions to, you know, if he really had power backstage, he would be facing The Undertaker.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, he made several references to that in his promo. And, you know, and basically he said that Miz was ripping off what AJ Styles has been saying for the last 5 months about John Cena. And so it's like, you better come with something new, or I'll be like, you know, you'll be a dead man, kind of meaning like, instead of feuding with you, I'll be feuding with The Undertaker. You know?
Yeah, definitely. A couple of comments in the YouTube chat. Tone says SmackDown was pretty great, but because I actually fell asleep on Monday Night Raw. First time I've fallen asleep on a Raw episode in years. Chauncey Bullock, what's up to Chauncey? He says, brother WGS-TV, I knew you'd come. We probably won't be hearing that anymore on Impact Wrestling after the news that happened this week, over the past couple of weeks, of not only Drew Galloway leaving Impact Wrestling, but both Jeff and Matt Hardy are now gone from Impact Wrestling.
And amazingly, they showed Hardy Boys video on WWE today.
Really?
Yeah, on WWE.com. Like, they just randomly showed a Hardy Boys video.
Now, do you feel if they bring them into the WWE that they have to bring in the broken characters?
I don't see why not. You know, especially going on the angle like that they're winning all the tag team titles all over, you know, and all the different promotions.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to go in and take the WWE titles, even win them in both SmackDown and Raw.
And I heard that's one of the reasons why the Hardys left Impact Wrestling, because Anthem Sports and Entertainment said since they were going to all these various different promotions and productions to win tag team titles, that they wanted like a certain percentage of the cut. And Matt and Jeff were saying no to that, and they decided to end their affiliation with Impact Wrestling and Anthem Sports Entertainment because of that. Is that the big first snafu of Anthem Sports Entertainment, to lose possibly the two biggest names in their company right now?
I would definitely say so, you know, because they put butts in seats, so to speak. They sell tickets. But, you know, I mean, if the company's going a different direction, I can understand that, and they're maybe going with younger talent. And it was only a matter of time before the Hardy Boys went back to the WWE, and I think they want to retire in the WWE ultimately.
Yeah, but let's go back to SmackDown, as we did get a little bit off topic with that.
But yeah, just to finish up Miz TV with Cena, you know, we did see Maurice get involved. She slapped Cena, and then ultimately Nikki Bella came out to defend her, and it kind of leads, you know, you to think, okay, is John Cena really going to do an intergender tag match at WrestleMania? You know, it's, you know, a lot of people would say it would be beneath him, but it would be epic, you know, as far as, you know, making a huge women's match.
I honestly don't think there's nothing really beneath John Cena for him to do. If they want to use him creatively in something good, and it would also sell tickets and put butts in seats, then John Cena can be used for anything. There's nothing that, you know, you really can't say that, because he can actually make an intergender tag team match or a mixed tag team match actually sell, because he has the name power for it. Both Miz and Cena have the name power for it.
Right.
But and speaking of that, Tone says, I feel as if Cena and Nikki is the better option as well. I feel both of those two teams work so well together. And Chauncey says, why the Broken Hardys leave TNA? Hashtag beat up Matt and Jeff. Well, I just talked about that just a couple of minutes ago, Chauncey. But what we had next?
We also had a 2 out of 3 falls match, which I guess is to kind of end the feud between Becky Lynch and Mickie James. Which, you know, it was kind of a back and forth. I think James got the first fall, then Lynch ended up getting the next two due to Alexa Bliss kind of getting involved. But the real question, I guess, in any of the wrestling now is what's going to happen at WrestleMania in the women's title division.
Breaking news. This is from our friend Joshua Abear, and he's here in the chat. He says, guys, what's up? Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis and Jade have left Impact Wrestling as well. Alberto Del Rio is now in Impact Wrestling, and tonight he beat Bobby Lashley to become the new Impact Heavyweight Champion.
Wow, Del Rio. I'm sure Paige is happy about that.
Now, is he in Impact as his Del Rio name, or is he Alberto El Patron? That's what I would like to know.
I doubt he would be under Del Rio.
Yeah, because I think that's copyrighted by WWE, is it not?
Probably so.
And what Tone says, from what I read, the guy that runs the company now had said in passing that, quote, Jeff can just go back to WWE, which is extremely disrespectful to a man who's been nothing but profitable to TNA. And Joshua says he was in there as Alberto El Patron.
Yeah, well, that's his running name.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that we're definitely going to have Alexa Bliss defending her title at WrestleMania. The only question is, maybe a fatal four-way for the women's title, because it appeared that Natalya started to get involved with it because she kind of got into Bliss after the match.
Yeah, I did notice that. So does that mean that Natalya's turning face all of a sudden?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure about that because she just came out of a feud where she was a heel.
Yeah.
But if it's a fatal four-way kind of thing,
Oh,
then
yeah.
you might see Lynch and James kind of go in there as the baby faces, and James would have to kind of change her attitude, so to speak, and or go against Alexa Bliss, maybe turn on her.
Yeah, because technically right now the only face that would be in that fatal four-way would be Becky Lynch.
Right, exactly. So you got to have a baby face, and really, what else do they have on SmackDown? Because Naomi is injured.
Yeah.
And Nikki Bella seems to be involved with the feud with Cena.
If they put Renee Young in that one, I'm going to be sick to my stomach.
Well, no, I think Renee Young, they maybe originally had it planned for her to get involved with the feud with Miz. But, I think her lack of wrestling talent maybe squashed that idea. Anyways, we had also a number one contender match with AJ Styles and Luke Harper.
Which we were just talking about.
Yeah, and AJ ended up winning twice. You think that hurts Luke Harper at all?
It's really difficult to say because, for one thing, I knew he wasn't going to win this number one contenders match because I don't think he's
Not
ready.
too many people did.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't deserve the main event of WrestleMania, definitely.
No, they need to build him up more, is what they need to do. They need to start building up his character, making him more of a prominent figure on SmackDown Live, maybe have a run with possibly the Intercontinental Championship for a little while. Have him more involved in main event storylines. Get him to be in that upper card echelon on SmackDown Live. Having more of a prominent figure and a prominent name on SmackDown Live, then I could have seen him winning
they could give him a
match.
similar build to Braun Strowman, because Raw, that's about the one good thing they have done, is to build Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Let's see, Dolph Ziggler versus, let's get back to AJ and Harper real quick, just because there was one extra story. Shane McMahon coming out, restarting the match. It made AJ Styles mad.
Yeah.
Luke Harper ended up kicking Shane in the face.
By accident.
And
Accident.
Harper kind of rubbed it in his face that he won the match.
Yeah.
Do you think that Shane, it's a possibility at least, that Shane could take that number one contendership away from AJ Styles if Randy Orton wants to challenge for the title?
Again, it's very difficult to say. It's very hard to say what they're going to be doing with this because I don't think we've ever had quite a kind of storyline like this before, where the last time we had someone who gave up their Royal Rumble winner spot was Vince McMahon back in 1999, and we all remember what happened. The ruling they said creatively was the runner-up gets all the rights and privileges to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. They didn't do that this year. What they did is they had Randy Orton temporarily retract his number one contendership.
And it was very temporarily.
Yeah, and probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they had a 10-man battle royal, and then they that went to a draw with with Luke Harper and AJ Styles. And they had a number one contendership match where Styles won it, and then at the end of that very same SmackDown, Randy Orton says, "You know what? I turn on you, Bray Wyatt, and I'm coming after you." I really don't know what to make of what WWE is doing right now on SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live has been the better product, but this kind of storyline snafu's got me thinking, what in the hell are they smoking?
Well, surely. And yeah, it doesn't necessarily make sense. And that was the one letdown for me on SmackDown. It was the whole Wyatt invocation with Randy Orton and him burning the house down. And it's just like, okay, so I guess Orton's a babyface now. And, because I know they were trying to get him cheers when he did win the Royal Rumble. And that's why they had Roman Reigns be the last person.
He was still getting some positive pops even when he was in the Wyatt family.
Well, surely. I mean, just because he's Randy Orton. So, needless to say, I don't know. I mean, I could see a triple threat, Orton, Wyatt, AJ Styles being a decent main event, quote unquote, for WrestleMania.
What's up to Evil Deeds for Life? He is in the Twitch.tv chat room along with El Kabong. Chauncey Bullock says, but I still have the Broken Hardy Boys kind of guy. That's kind of a weird statement, wouldn't you say?
But I still have a Broken Hardy Boys
kind of guy.
He might still be a Broken Hardy Boys. He likes them.
Yeah.
I like the Broken Hardy Boys as well.
Yep.
Good little characters. I guess other than that, they had the chairs match with Dolph Ziggler and Apollo Crews. It was, okay, typical chairs match.
I've never seen anyone get crotched over a chair for a finish before.
Yeah, which Dolph Ziggler did to Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews pretty much in this feud, I guess, has dominated most of the matches. Ziggler makes him look good, which is what Ziggler does. And then Ziggler finds some way to cheat and win. Is this really going over well? I mean, people are still cheering for Dolph Ziggler more than Apollo Crews.
Well, I think the reason why they're cheering is they've been wanting a fresh change in the character and the gimmick of Dolph Ziggler.
Right.
And a lot of fans seem to think that he's more over as a heel.
Well, they like the fact that he's standing up for himself,
in a sense.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm not necessarily sure why, just because they like Dolph Ziggler even, So it could be anything. How about this one? Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin kind of had their little back and forth as far as building their feud. Didn't that go over well?
Corbin is starting to improve when it comes to promos. He showed some intensity on the Titantron. I like that out of him because he has the potential to be that kind of character, to be that kind of guy. He's got the size, he's got the look, he's got the feel about him. He needs to deliver that and actually, I want to say, transmit that verbally and emotionally during his promos. Right. And we got a little bit of a taste of that on SmackDown Live, and I did like that out of him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought it was okay. I still think... WWE really believes in Dean Ambrose as far as being this quirky, kind of, I don't know, badass comedy character or whatever. I don't know. But to me, just sometimes it just kind of is a letdown, I don't know. But hopefully this feud kind of picks up. They still have, 5-6 weeks left until WrestleMania?
Around less than 40 days.
Okay, yeah, so they have a lot of time to build, so they're having to slow build on SmackDown, definitely.
Yep, definitely. Yeah.
But as of right now, here are some possible matches at WrestleMania for SmackDown.
Wait, a couple of comments. Got Josh in the chat and says, I heard that Jack Swagger's asked for his release from WWE and was granted it. We talked about Dutch Mantel last week about his move to Impact Wrestling, and apparently now he's also pushing for Swagger to be signed to make Impact great again. A reuniting of these two?
He could definitely get over as one of the main characters on Impact Wrestling.
Yep, and
no doubt.
And Tone says SmackDown was a well-timed show. Ziggler has been killing it as a heel lately. Well, yes, the character has been fresh. It's been different. It's been what fans have been wanting to see. But it needs to start getting the fans to hate him, because that's what your job is supposed to be as a heel, is to get the fans to hate you, not cheer for you. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. And what's up to my good friend Code Lyons, formerly known as D-Lam1. He is the host of Code of Honor, which can be seen on twitch.tv/Code Lions now, CODELIONS. So be sure you guys check him out, and be sure you follow him on Twitch as well. And our phone lines are still open right now. We still haven't had our phone call yet from anybody here.
Yeah, what up with that? What up with that?
So our phone lines are open, 337-366-8951. If you guys want to get in and start talking about Fastlane, with this coming up this Sunday.
Real quick, let's kind of run through as far as to wrap up SmackDown, possible SmackDown WrestleMania matches. This is what we kind of got so far. I'm thinking as far as the tag titles, it's definitely going to be American Alpha against the Usos. What do you think about that one and how they're building that one so far?
Well, we kind of had a disagreement last week because of the fact that we both
We didn't have a disagreement. Everybody disagreed with you.
Me. Yeah, but that's the beauty of it. When we do this show, when I do my videos on YouTube, it's all a matter of subjective opinions, and everybody has an opinion.
Really?
What's
great about wrestling is we could sit and argue about fantasy.
Yep. Evil Deeds for Life says, "Tone, call the show and hashtag Tone buries all." Okay. Don't know what to say about that, but okay.
So, and who's to say? I think I can see the Alpha and Usos having a prolonged feud. That could be one of those matches where a heel gets over and wins the title, on the card. And
I wouldn't be surprised for them to put the SmackDown tag team titles on the Usos because, they're a good, solid team. They know how to get over. Their characters, I think, still need some work. But again, that's just my personal opinion about it.
It's still a work in progress, but I think they're doing pretty well. And hey, we got our first call, and it's Corey.
Hey, Corey, how you doing?
What's the dealio?
Well, we're talking about Fastlane coming up this Sunday, and we got quite
predictions.
Oh, yeah, definitely predictions. And we have a Cruiserweight tag team match on the Kickoff show. If I remember correctly, it's Rich Swann and Akira Tozawa versus the Brian Kendrick. And is it Noam Dar as Kendrick's partner?
Yeah. Ooh, can I pick?
Go ahead.
I would say Rich Swann and Noam Dar. But I'm going to go with...
Rich Swann's teaming up with Akira Tozawa, not Noam Dar.
Yeah. I will go with them, but I'm going to go with the other two.
You going with Kendrick and Dar? Okay.
Why not? Go Hill.
My first prediction.
All right, what about Nia Jax and Sasha Banks?
Nia Jax. Even though I love Sasha Banks.
Oh yeah, we know that. We know that, Corey. We've heard you say that quite a lot of times. As you love Sasha Banks as much as I love Asuka.
Oh yeah,
Yep, and WGS Transpublic says I'll be shocked if they do not do the draft like they did in 2003. They did do that last year. Well, they did do that last year, didn't they?
They're doing it again this year?
I think the draft's going to be a yearly thing.
Yeah, I think they should. The roster's not deep enough yet because the feuds are all worn out at this point. They feuded with all the people they can.
All right, I'm trying to hurry up and bring up. You don't have the match card on you, do you?
Yeah, I got some card
for Fastlane.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I think you already did the Cruiserweight tag. You already did Jackson, Banks. How about Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe?
Samoa Joe.
I agree with you there. And then going in Cruiserweight title, Neville against Jack Gallagher. Or Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Jack Gallagher.
Now, will he win the match, just the match, or will he win the title?
He gonna win the title and the match.
I like it.
Because he can win the match by disqualification or count out and not win the title.
No, but he gonna win the title too.
Okay, we'll see about that one. Bayley and Charlotte for the women's title.
All I gotta say, Bayley better enjoy it.
Really?
Because Charlotte don't lose on pay-per-views, right?
Oh, no. I see that for myself.
Yep. So you think Charlotte's going to win?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about Anderson and Gallows defending their tag team titles against Enzo and Cass?
I like Enzo and Cash, but I'm sorry. I think Luke Gallows is going to keep it.
I'll be surprised, honestly, if they drop the titles off the Bullet Club. Considering their past and how they dominated in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Let me tell you something about that. I would like to see that. I would like to see that.
Well, I think they'll hold them at least until WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I can see that. I agree. At one point, I agree with you.
Let's see. We got Roman Reigns against Braun Strowman.
Ooh. Title?
No title.
No title?
No, Roman Reigns is no longer the United States champion.
I don't.
Jericho has the title.
Who y'all going with? Who y'all going with?
It's hard to say, man. I think
Yeah, we were gonna break it down a little bit further after we got off the phone with you.
Who y'all going with? Who you going with, Billy?
I don't know. It's very hard to say. I mean, they've both been heavily pushed as of late, ever since the Royal Rumble.
At one point, I'm gonna tell y'all this: the way Roman Reigns been getting beat every week, it might happen again Sunday. Nah. At another point, I'm gonna have to go with Braun Strowman because he's bigger than Roman Reigns.
Big Show was bigger than Braun Strowman when they faced off last week, and Braun Strowman beat him.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I could definitely see the match going down as far as Braun Strowman's going to beat him down the entire match. And, but we always, how it is as far as Roman Reigns. He always has a Superman comeback,
Yeah, they're gonna throw it out.
Well, like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with that one. And finally, we got the Universal Championship match, Kevin Owens and Goldberg. I will say this, if we don't see... Well, let me say this first. Let me retract and go back one step. Because of all of the rumors about Roman Reigns and The Undertaker for WrestleMania. And I said this on my...
Talking about that.
Yeah, and I said this on my video I did just yesterday on Monday Night Raw, was that if they want to start selling this as a legit match between Reigns and Undertaker, then I'm gonna give it a 90% probability chance of Undertaker showing up and costing
Right.
Strowman the match.
Well, if he cost Strowman the match,
Or cost Reigns the match, I
Yeah.
apologize.
cost Reign the match.
Yeah, I misspoke there.
Because he's still mad at, wasn't it Reigns?
Yeah,
that
Reigns eliminated him. At the Royal Rumble,
I
remember,
could
Corey?
possibly see it the Raw after Fastlane, too. If Braun Strowman goes ahead and beats Roman Reigns, so Roman Reigns has to figure out something else to do, and then Undertaker maybe comes out, or I don't know. Who's to say, because I still would like to see the possibility of John Cena against Undertaker, and Cena kind of mentioned it a couple times during SmackDown.
Yeah, but we know that those plans have been scrapped heavily, so that's not going to happen.
Well, I still think they're playing with the card a little bit.
Well, they need to stop playing with the card and start making some legit matches and get those, start promoting those.
Speaking of which, I've heard that Big Show and Shaq has been scrapped too.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because I don't think anybody wanted to see that.
Right?
And it's no offense to Big Show, and it's no offense to Shaq, but like I said before, when then Strowman and Big Show had their match, they're two big guys. What can they do? Not much.
Right.
And Shaq is no Braun Strowman.
No, he's not. He just big.
Maybe have them in the Battle Royal again or something.
Possibly.
So, yeah, and then in your main event, Corey, you got Kevin Owens defending the title against Goldberg.
Now, at one point, I'm going to give y'all an easy prediction. At one point, I would like to see Goldberg with the belt, but you know what? Kevin Owens gonna cheat.
Well, Evil Deeds for Life in the Twitch. Hold on, Corey. Evil Deeds for Life in the Twitch chats for the Roman Reigns not Undertaker Strowman match says I think we'll end in a double count out with Roman and Braun. Them and
That's what I see too.
yeah, with them fighting on the outside and leading into a double count out. That's also a possibility of that happening. But back to what you were saying, Corey, about Kevin Owens cheating.
I would. At one point, I'm gonna go with Goldberg, but you know what? Chris Jericho gonna come help. Kevin Owens keep that belt.
Not after what happened with the Festival of Friendship. You forget what happened with that one, Corey?
Yeah, Jericho is going to come and possibly cost him the title, but then I think Lesnar might possibly come out as well. And Lesnar wants Kevin Owens to lose the title.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, if Goldberg go in there, if Goldberg go to WrestleMania with the title, Mama love that.
I think that could be what's happening, Corey.
So I got to go with Goldberg.
Yeah, the deck is just kind of stacked against Kevin Owens right now as far as he's got Jericho against him, Goldberg, and Lesnar all wanting him to lose the title.
My thing is, I never seen him really. Who had that belt at first?
Finn Balor.
Then he was injured.
I never seen him beat nobody.
Yeah, Owens has had the title pretty much since SummerSlam, and
night after
he's
SummerSlam.
hardly beat anybody on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what he gonna do Sunday.
Which he has definitely brought out more of his aggressive character lately, which I think will help him as far as being able to. It's really whether he can withstand the initial onslaught of Goldberg. If he can make it like a 10, 15, 20-minute match, then that definitely stacks in Kevin Owens' favor.
So, Corey, before we let you go this week, one final question for you. Raw versus SmackDown, who won this week?
You mean out of one of the shows?
Yeah, which show was better this week? Was Raw better this week or was SmackDown better this week?
Raw getting better, but at the same time, in my book, SmackDown's still number one.
All right. Well, Corey, thank you very much. I'm sorry, Corey?
Trivia.
Trivia. Oh, I'm sorry, Corey. I don't have nothing
Let's see
for
if
you.
I got something for you, Corey. Let's see. Trivia. Some WrestleMania trivia. What WrestleMania had the highest attendance?
That might be too hard because there are a lot of people that can really misconstrue WrestleMania 3 for having the highest attendance at the I believe it was at Ford Field. I believe it was where they had like over 70 some odd thousand, 90 some odd thousand people.
Yeah, 'cause they're easy with that.
No.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that one. I think they've had another place where it had more people than that.
What, WrestleMania?
Yeah.
All right, that's up.
Oh, well, last year, a couple years ago in Dallas.
Well, they say like what was it, 100?
102?
Yeah, but there was like a lot of empty seats there.
Right. Well, it holds like 110 or 120 or something.
Let me get one more, then I'm gone.
All right. Let's see.
At WrestleMania 3, this matchup for the Intercontinental Championship was widely considered to be one of the best Intercontinental Championship matches of all time. The challenger in that match was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who was the champion. And I'll give you the hint. He likes to snap it to a Slim Jim. That's right.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Widely considered to be one of the best Intercontinental Championship matches ever at a WrestleMania, and it's hard to disagree with that sentiment considering how everything was. But Corey, we're going to go ahead and let you go. Our good friend Tone is calling, so we got to get you off the line.
It's all good.
You have a good one, Corey?
Thursday.
All right. All right. What's up to Tone? Tone, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Doing just fine. And also, what's up to Cut I'm trying to pronounce his name. C
Is
U.
it Nico R. Kuzan?
No. It's Cut HBR Tall Good.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I have no idea who that is. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. If you can help me out with that one, or if you have a shorter name you would like me to call you by, please do. But we got and Josh has a question for us. Do you guys think that we'll ever get to see a Sister Abigail character on SmackDown? They've been teasing a Sister Abigail character ever since Bray Wyatt made his debut on the main roster in WWE. They've been teasing somebody for that.
I think Randy Orton kind of killed her on Tuesday.
Yeah, with the burning of the
her
remains.
soul or whatever.
Kind of killed Endo.
Unless she reincarnates, which is always a possibility in the Wyatt world. But I think actually Bray Wyatt's actual sister is training in NXT.
I think so.
Yeah, Mika.
Yep.
I think she could be a good Sister Abigail if they need her to be.
Yeah, and I would like to see how they would bring her character in, considering the fact that what we saw on SmackDown Live. And Tone, I still don't understand the direction of what they're doing. Because if you remember, and I just said this about 5-10 minutes ago, they had Randy Orton retract his #1 contendership win from the Royal Rumble. Then the next week they have a 10-man battle royal that ends in a draw with Styles and Harper. And then this week, Styles beats Luke Harper in the #1 contendership match to win the #1 contendership. And now Randy Orton turns on Bray Wyatt and says he wants to go after him now. I mean, can you make heads or tails out of that?
It's different. I think with them creatively, that's probably the best place for them to put it with like 4 or 5 weeks left until WrestleMania. And I've noticed this in almost everything that they've done, especially with Orton in it. Orton will look at Bray a certain way, or like last week, he looked directly at the title.
Yeah, we remember that.
Or at any point, or any point before that, if anything happened, like Randy, if they're going full story, Randy got Luke Harper out. Whatever mind games with Randy played, he got Luke out. I know Eric Rowan is cleared, so he'll be back soon, maybe next week or so. But like Randy Orton mind games wise, if they're gonna go with it, then he got Luke Harper kicked out of the family. And if this is a whole new way to make Bray, they kind of humanized Bray. And now we got to see how Bray will react. I liked it. I liked the camera angles, the camera cuts that they did, the music they were playing behind it.
Tone, I hate to cut you off, but Chauncey has a question for you in the chat room, and he wants to know what's Bray Wyatt's real sister's name.
Mika. I think it's Mika Rotunda, if I'm not mistaken. That's her name.
Mika Rotunda.
Okay. So now you say that you think that with the burning of Sister Abigail's remains, and again we put that up in quotation marks, you felt that it humanized Bray Wyatt's character. Nick, do you agree with that?
I'm sorry, one more time?
That Tone said that when they burned Sister Abigail's remains, that it kind of humanized Bray Wyatt's character. Do you agree with that?
Well, right. It was almost as if the crowd sympathized with Wyatt a little more as the babyface, and like Orton, was kind of doing the crazy heel thing.
Or the Viper thing that he's done before.
The Viper thing, yeah, but it's like there's kind of a blend between good and evil in the WWE, I suppose, and people still cheer for Orton probably over Wyatt.
Orton has the RKO. That's, I think, almost 100% reason why they continue to cheer him.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Because that move's been protected for years.
Yeah, from Johnny Ace to Diamond Dallas Page and down to Randy Orton.
Yep.
Right, well, and you can do it out of nowhere, and it's just a crowd pleaser.
You could say Mark Merrill a little bit too when he was doing the TKO, because that's a version of it. It starts as a fireman's carry, and then he spins him around and takes him down cutter style.
Right.
So in a sense, it's a version of it.
I like TKO. That move's pretty great too.
So But anyway, we're looking towards Fastlane, and I think with the Cruiserweight title, the Cruiserweight tag team match, I think more of the focus when I look at this match with Rich Swann and Akira Tozawa taking on Brian, Kendrick, and Noam Dar, more of the focus on this match would probably be on the feud between Tozawa and Kendrick more than anything, considering all things
If anything,
considered.
I think maybe it'll go towards Alicia Fox and Rich Swann, because I know at some point within the last maybe week or two.
Well, it's not Rich Swann, it's Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, it's not Rich Swann that was involved with Alicia Fox. It was Cedric Alexander.
One of the two. I think Rich Swann had said he wanted Alicia Fox, because Noam Dar had her, and he wanted to take her from him or something.
Well, I haven't watched 205 Live the past couple of weeks, so I don't know.
Good point.
Yeah.
So
Within
it's
the past 2 weeks, but I'm okay with that tag match. I think that tag match is going to be a lot of fun, as all the Cruiserweight matches are.
Surely it's a warm-up match for the crowd.
yeah. So I'm just gonna make a random pick here. I'm gonna say Swann and Tozawa for the win.
I,
I'm going to go with Kendrick and Dar.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Kendrick and Dar as well. I mean, just because you're probably going to end up having a babyface win Cruiserweight at WrestleMania.
And
Yeah.
for the umpteenth time, we're gonna have Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. What's gonna make this match different than any other of the Banks Jax matches we've seen in the past?
Probably the time.
Well, not only the time, I think this one's not going to have necessarily a definitive finish because ultimately I believe they're setting it up for a fatal four-way with Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Charlotte. So they're going to probably somehow get involved in the title match even.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that either.
Per usual.
So I'm gonna say no clean finish on this one.
I would say a leg drop, and Nia Jax wins, and a convincing super fast, maybe 30-second encounter.
Yeah, I say Nia Jax still probably wins, but it carries over in later on into the night. Let's see. Also, Sami Zayn against Samoa Joe. Does Sami Zayn really stand a shot in this match?
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, I think we all can agree on that.
Considering the fact that they just brought up Samoa Joe to the main roster, and they're trying to build him up and push him over as this monster heel destroyer guy. And it's no offense to Sami Zayn. His character is the underdog from the underground. You know, he's supposed to be facing kind of odds, insurmountable odds. And we've known that Zayn and Joe have worked matches before because they had a feud in NXT over who's going to be the number one contender for the NXT championship at the time. And I believe that at that time the champion was still Finn Balor. So that's how far back it was. But so they have had some good matches before. So this is not going to be like a standard squash match between these two. It's going to be a good match.
No,
but
I'm sure it'll be good. I just think that Samoa Joe is definitely going to win. He hasn't lost the match on the main roster yet.
No, he hasn't.
Which I have a question for you guys. We know Samoa Joe is going to win this match, but what do you think they have for Samoa Joe at WrestleMania? Because, there's really no rumors as far as who his possible opponent could be. Could it possibly be maybe like Finn Balor?
That I would love to see.
Or Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Or
Yeah, they could have him do the Battle Royal as well.
Joe and Balor have had some great stuff in NXT. Some amazing stuff over the NXT Championship. And I would love to see them transition that feud from NXT over the NXT Championship onto the main roster and see where they progress that feud. I would love to see Balor and Joe at WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just speculation. I just threw that out there. Yeah, some type of belt, possibly have Jericho drop the U.S. title or something.
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, that's
maybe after Mick Foley gets taken out as general manager, because that's what it looks like they're alluding to.
Sure. Which
how bad was that promo
the acting
from Foley when he was responding to Strowman at the end of Monday Night Raw?
Right.
Mick Foley used to be good on the microphone. He used to have good promo skills, and as of late, yeah, it's just like he doesn't have it anymore, and he's just trying to force it, and it's not happening.
Which
I think with him, it may just be like timing. I think he knows that he'll be gone for a couple months, because I think that he's getting hip surgery.
Wow.
maybe after Mania or some point. So I think, because like Stephanie alluded to before, oh, hey, Mick, don't trip over that cord on the floor. You don't want to have an accident. And, like, I think she probably will end up forcing him out. Or, like, maybe Braun Strowman or Samoa Joe beat him up, or he'll just be on the floor and it'll look like they did something to him.
That'd be a good way to write him off.
They'll move him out. I think just in general, once the word got out about his hip surgery, I think he was going to be out anyway.
Surely. What capacity do you think we'll see Chris Jericho at Fastlane? Possibly getting involved in the Owens match, or
Yeah, I mean, more considering the fact that Owens was the one who took him out.
Well, and we haven't seen Jericho since the Festival of Friendship.
Exactly. I think they're saving him up for Fastlane. Now, in what capacity and what way will they use him at Fastlane in the Owens match? Because, if somebody out there is going to say, oh, he's going to be involved in another match, what other match will he be involved in? The only angle he's involved in was with the guy that took him out in the first place, Kevin Owens. So common sense dictates that Kevin Owens...
Owens has definitely got the deck stacked against him, with Goldberg, Lesnar, and Jericho all wanting Owens to lose the title.
Yep. I do think, though, that maybe if Jericho doesn't intervene, that maybe Brock Lesnar will call Kevin Owens to keep the belt.
Well, yeah, that too. And that would be a way to kind of put more fire into the feud of Lesnar and Goldberg, having Lesnar cost Goldberg the Universal Championship.
Yeah.
But can it be enough? Can it be enough to push over a feud for a WrestleMania?
I think it could, especially with those two,
Right.
at least.
Well,
Especially with Lesnar just looking directly at a camera for 15 minutes. I mean, I don't know what that was, but I liked it.
well, speaking of championships, we got the Raw Tag Team Championship. Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson defending the titles against Enzo Amore and Big Cass. If the WWE drops the titles off the Bullet Club, I'll become a Brock Lesnar fan.
Well, get ready to become a Brock Lesnar fan.
You don't think they're
Seriously?
gonna wait till WrestleMania for the payoff?
I would think WrestleMania would be a better payoff.
I've been thinking about it. I think that maybe Enzo will cost them the belt.
That's what I've been thinking too. They've been trying to put some dissension between Enzo and Cass.
Yeah.
And Enzo's really kind of got it coming to him, kind of thing. Well, he's like bragging after they win matches. He's not doing babyface type things, so.
Nope, like when he got kicked in the face by Sheamus, they were saying, thank you, Sheamus.
Exactly. So, and Vince has been drooling to have Cass go off on a singles run,
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
We also have the Cruiserweight.
Enzo, my brother had said at one point, they should have just brought Enzo and Cass in, and Cass would be his manager.
A lot of people have said that. A lot of people have said that.
Enzo can talk. Cass can't really talk that great.
Yeah.
But having Enzo come up and starting to cost him matches and stuff is going to break them apart, which I don't think they need to be apart. I think Big Cass is obviously going to suffer if they're apart.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of championships, we got the Cruiserweight title, Neville and gentleman Jack Gallagher.
Neville, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, ever since they put the title on Neville, he's been kind of the face of the Cruiserweight division and been one of the most talked about guys in the Cruiserweight division.
And I keep on saying it's going to end up being Neville and Austin Aries at WrestleMania.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that. But who would be the face and who would be the heel?
Aries would definitely be the face.
Yeah, he'd be the face. He'd probably go in there to interview, because I know they've been showing previews of Aries on Raw and stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd go in there to interview Neville after his title win, and then Neville would say he's trying to take a spotlight or something, and Aries would just deck him with an elbow inside of the head.
I can see it happening. And they still have about 5-6 weeks left to build. So, let's see what else is left on the card. We got Bayley against Charlotte. Is Charlotte gonna keep her pay-per-view streak up?
This is for the Raw Women's title, by the way.
100%. Charlotte's going to win the belt back against that.
And go into WrestleMania with the title?
I don't know. I don't know if that'll happen or not. Because they look like they want to they're trying to put some stock behind Bayley as a champion, considering the amazing run she had as NXT Women's Champion. So I would not be surprised to see them see Bayley break the streak of Charlotte and retain the Raw Women's Championship. I'm just putting it out there.
Same thing they've been doing. Charlotte's gonna.
Vince McMahon has a fancy for ending streaks at WrestleMania, so I think he'll just hold off until WrestleMania and end it there.
I don't know, but why make Charlotte such a multiple-time champion in such a quick fashion?
Because it solidifies her like her dad.
Right, 5-time champion already if she wins it.
Yep. If she wins, she's already 5-time champion, and she'll have more than Roman. Roman has, 3 world titles, but only been maybe less than a month reigns because he loses them almost immediately.
Speaking of Reign, how about Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman?
Hopefully Strowman by Undertaker interference.
Yeah, I'm thinking they might wait to do Undertaker on the next night of Raw after Roman Reigns is all like broken and defeated by Strowman and.
It would have to be in that time period. It would have to be in the time period of either Sunday night at the match itself or the very next night on Monday Night Raw, because WWE is rapidly running out of time to build angles up for WrestleMania. And speaking of running out of time, we're almost running out of time. We also have, and finally we have the Universal Championship match, Kevin Owens and Goldberg. One thing that I know for certain that has to happen at this match, Tone, is an appearance by Chris Jericho.
Yeah, 100%.
And possibly even by Brock Lesnar.
Appearance by Lesnar. I would also like one by Lesnar too.
Now, what's more of a sustainable feud? Having Lesnar cost Goldberg the Universal Championship, or would it mean more to have the Universal Championship involved in the Goldberg versus Lesnar match?
I think Lesnar costing him the belt will be a little better. Just for the sake of that he eliminated Lesnar from the Rumble, so he cost Lesnar a shot at the belt. I think Lesnar should cost him a shot at the belt.
But Lesnar's already said he wants the title to be on the line at WrestleMania, and so he wants Owens to lose.
Yep, so for that matter, and also the fact that Chris Jericho could also be, out of revenge, cost Kevin Owens the championship. So I'm going to put my money on Goldberg. Kind of like what Corey did.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that Goldberg should win the title. And I mean, if anything, it's good for the Universal Championship because it really had no prestige behind the belt.
Yeah.
It puts a name behind the title and like it makes it a big match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. Tone, do you agree?
100%. I think if they're going to put the belt on Goldberg, then now's the time to do it. You won't have it for a long time.
Surely.
Yeah, when less than 3 minutes.
I think it'll just add a name to the belt that they would like. Adding a name to the belt to make it legitimate.
Yep, we have about less than 3 minutes left in the show. Tone is with Code of Honor. Again, you guys can see Code of Honor at twitch.tv/Code Lions, CODELIONS. Twitch. I'm sorry, Tone, do you have any words for your fellow COH guys that are watching in the chat room right now?
As per usual, watch Code of Honor like we just said, and then free time on Fridays you can watch On About on Fridays on the Code Lions channel as well.
All right, thank you very much, Tone, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yep, have a good night.
Have a good night, man.
All right, Nick, any final thoughts on the show this week?
Yeah, well, my super fast WrestleMania card. I got Goldberg, Lesnar, Kevin Owens against Jericho, Bray Wyatt against Randy Orton, maybe AJ Styles, SmackDown Tag Alpha against Usos, Raw Tag Anderson and Gallows, possibly against Enzo and Caskin. I don't know about that one. Raw Women's Charlotte, Bayley, Nia, Sasha. SmackDown Women Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Mickie James, maybe Natalya. Intercontinental Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin, Cruiserweight Neville versus Austin Aries, maybe Seth Rollins versus Triple H, Cena and Bella versus Miz and Maurice, Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. Sounds like a decent card to me. I think they're heading in a good direction.
Yep, and very quickly before we end the show, I want to send out a couple of very special happy birthdays. First, to a good friend of my family, Corey. Today was her birthday, so happy birthday to Corey. And Monday will be my grandmother's birthday, so happy birthday, Grandma. So,
and Mark, we're thinking about you as well, man. Hope you get better.
So with that being said, he is Nick Nade Fuquay. I'm the
Peace.
Wrestle Gamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux. We'll see you next week right here on Sports Entertainment Tonight. Bye, guys.
See ya.